This is Sports with Hunzi. I'm your host, Kyle. Welcome back. This is the Week 7 predictions. Going to go through each of the games of the week. NFL Week 7 just passed basically a third of the way done. Very, very weird to think that we're already 6 games into the season, but time flies. Just remember to cherish these moments. A couple months ago, we would have all died for a Jets and Tennessee game on a Thursday night. Tonight, we actually get Pittsburgh and Cincinnati. Not the hottest of games in the NFL this weekend, but we'll start there. I'll go through some of the standings. Now we're getting closer towards, as we get closer towards the halfway mark, playoff picture becomes a little bit clearer. Teams start to settle down, and we really start to see who actually is good in the league this year. Last week on the 5-minute podcast, which did my picks, 8-6. 8-6 the week before that. I am 35-21-1 on the year. I started making moneyline picks in week 3. I've been doing it each week. Now 35-21-1 on the year. Pretty cool stuff. To be up 14 games, that's pretty cool. Enjoy winning quite a lot. To the first game. So Pittsburgh at Cincinnati, 8:15 tonight. The line has Pittsburgh at -4.5. Cincinnati home dog. I like Cincinnati in this spot. I think Joe Flacco makes that offense somewhat more efficient. I'm not sold on the Pittsburgh Steelers defense and Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers, quickest time to throw in the NFL right now. DK Metcalf looks good. They're on the same page. However, I don't really trust their run game. I think Cincinnati will put up enough points, and them being at home, I think it makes a difference. It's a short week. I don't know. My gut tells me go with Cincinnati on this one. Second game. The game of the week, in my opinion. A little bit biased, of course. Los Angeles at Jacksonville. In London, I think it's Wembley. Yep, Wembley. The line is set for the Rams at -2. Kind of a pick'em game. I guess you could say the Jags are home underdogs. If Puka is not playing for the Rams, I think that causes major concern for the Rams offense to begin with. Everything runs through him. Yeah, they've got Devontae, but 17 points last week against the Ravens defense. It's kind of yet to be seen whether that was more of a Rams faltering on offense or whether that was the Ravens actually coming back and, I should say, coming alive this late in the season. I'm going to pick Jacksonville mainly because I think Liam Cohen will get some things straightened out this week. We've been pretty consistent about moving the ball. If we don't have the drops and we can have Trayvon healthier on the defensive end, I think we win this game. It'll be close. Nonetheless, I've got Jacksonville in this one. New Orleans at Chicago, 1 o'clock. The line's set at -4.5. I like Chicago in this one. Mojo is going. Caleb Williams looks good. Ben Johnson is doing his thing. New Orleans is terrible. I know that they put up a fight against a couple good teams. I think Spencer Rattler's been at least decent, but they don't have enough firepower to hang with Chicago right now. I think Chicago's got it all lined up. Miami at Cleveland. Boy, what a game. Cleveland is favored here by 2. They're at home against Miami. I think Miami they're in shambles. That whole team and the vibes are off. I think Miami gets rolled here. It wouldn't surprise me if Cleveland wins by 10 points or so. Cleveland's defense is going to be all over Tua, and I think Dylan Gabriel will do enough to get by this week. Kevin Stefanski, we'll have him prepared. Mike McDaniels is on the way out the door. I got Cleveland in this one. New England at Tennessee. Mike Vrabel revenge game. This is a very clear-cut New England game. Tennessee lost their head coach this week. Mike McCoy is their interim head coach. I like Drake May. Rumor has it is that I said Drake May was going to be the best quarterback coming out of that class last year. May look like that right now. Drake May, highest EPA in the league so far this season out of all quarterbacks. He looks really, really good. Real poised, which is something that we didn't see last year. I've got New England in that one. Las Vegas at Kansas City. Kansas City's going to be back at full strength. Las Vegas coming off a good win. I guess I should say they came off a win against Tennessee. Las Vegas is just so far behind on the offensive line. They still have Geno playing poorly. Kansas City, I think, wins by 2 touchdowns in this one. Where they're favored by minus 12. That's a big line to take. I'd say Las Vegas probably makes it closer than 12, even though I just said that they could win by 2 touchdowns. But Vegas knows their stuff. Kansas City still wins this game. The light show will be back, and I think Geno turns the ball over a couple more times. I've got Kansas City. Philadelphia at Minnesota. Tough one here, mainly because of the quarterback situation in Minnesota. Philly playing poor. 2 straight losses. Jalen not playing well. Wasn't exactly turning the ball over weeks 1 through 5. Had the pick 6 in week 6. I like Minnesota in this one. They're at home. Philadelphia coming with bad vibes. The defense hasn't been playing that great, and the wide receiver room in Philadelphia seems extremely disgruntled. Saquon's not running the ball very well, and the offensive line's not as efficient as it was the past couple of years. I think KOC has them prepared. Minnesota wins this game at home. Carolina at the Jets. Carolina's got the mojo right now. I think the team believes that they can be good on both sides of the ball. They've, since week 1, they have really elevated themselves to a moderate to average offense and defense. Both sides of the ball playing much better. The Jets, 0-6. They'll be desperate. They'll be at home, but I don't know what Justin Fields is going to do. He seems like he's regressing as he does as the season goes on, and it wouldn't surprise me if Carolina doesn't blow them out in this game. Similarly to, more importantly, they put up quite a few points the last couple weeks against Dallas, and they put up 30 against Atlanta a couple weeks ago. I think the offense and Canales has it somewhat figured out, and they win easily here. The Giants at Denver. I don't have any faith in Dable or Dart to do it again this week, especially against a top-tier defense. Nick Bonita playing extremely well, Defensive Player of the Year candidate, and with Jackson Dart being mostly responsible for the Giants' offense right now, I would anticipate that Denver is going to make it very difficult on him. And I know that the offense in Denver has not been great recently, but I think with the personnel who's healthy and the offensive line, they'll get the job done against the Giants this week. Denver is favored by 7, so makes sense. 4:25 game, Green Bay at Arizona. Green Bay will let Arizona make this closer than it needs to be. Arizona is one of those teams that just can't figure out who they are. They can't figure out if they're good. They can't figure out if they're bad. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense. This seems like a Kyler Murray, Jonathan Gannon problem. I like Green Bay here. It'll be kind of a slugfest, but if Green Bay can continue to run the football the way that they have with Josh Jacobs, I think they're going to run for another 200 yards and just make this kind of a slop fest. The defense in Green Bay has not been as productive as it looked to be in week 1. I'll be interested to see if Green Bay can actually get pressure on Kyler this week. Atlanta at San Francisco, the Sunday night game. San Francisco may get back Brock and George Kittle. I think they'll probably get back George Kittle. I don't know if they'll get back Brock Purdy. If they get back both of them, I think San Francisco wins this one. Atlanta's played well offensively the past couple weeks. Defensively, they're coming along. Michael Penix scares me a little bit. He's made some poor decisions that haven't been penalized just yet. He almost threw a pick at the end of that game against Buffalo that would have turned the tide. I like San Francisco here. I think it'll be very close. Tampa Bay at Detroit on Monday night. If Baker doesn't have Emeka and he doesn't have Mike and he doesn't have Chris Godwin, Baker's been playing phenomenally. I still think that offense puts up points. I think Detroit's defense is playing better than they have been over the past couple of years. Well, they didn't play very well last week against Kansas City. However, I think Detroit still has a good defense. They'll be down Brian Branch, but with Baker not having any of his top 3 to 4 weapons, I'm going to find it hard for them to put up enough points to win. They're on the road, and with Baker and Tampa Bay on quite the win streak recently, this seems like a game for a letdown. Detroit has all the mojo. They want to get that win back from Monday night Sunday night against Kansas City. I think Detroit wins this one. Detroit's favored by 5, so makes sense there. Houston at Seattle in the late game on Monday night, 10 p.m. I won't be watching this. It'll be too late, past my bedtime. I like Seattle on this one. Seattle's hot. Seattle's defensive line is very serious, and the offensive line in Houston is not very good. It wouldn't surprise me if Seattle ends up with 6 or 7 sacks like they did last week against the Jags. And Sam Darnold has a healthy Jackson Smith and Jigba. They're going to do well. I know Houston's defense is good, but I think Seattle's defense may be slightly better. So I'm going to take Seattle, plus Seattle's at home. Houston's on the road. Houston's coming off of bye. Seems like a good chance for Seattle to really make it known that they are a serious contender in the NFC this year. That concludes all the Week 7 predictions to the standings in the NFL right now. So in the conference, we'll go with the AFC first. Colts first. Second is Pittsburgh. The third is the Chargers. The fourth is the Patriots. Fifth, Buffalo. Sixth, Jacksonville. Seventh, Denver. Eighth, Kansas City. I guess I'll go to 10. Houston is at 9, and Cincinnati is at 10. A couple thoughts. Interesting to see the Chargers in the third spot. I know that they've won a couple good games against Kansas City. They beat, who else have they beaten? They beat the Broncos. But the two losses to the Giants and the Commanders, at least for the past couple weeks, tells me that they're not as strong as they look on paper. The games themselves have been difficult for Justin Herbert to get the ball out. That pass, or the offensive line for Los Angeles, is really banged up. I don't see them holding on to this lead, or I should say holding on to a top spot in the AFC for very long. The Colts themselves, what Daniel Jones is doing, great. However, their strength of schedule has not been great. They've played the Dolphins, they've played the Broncos, Titans, Rams, Raiders, and Cardinals. The one good team that I think they did play was the Rams. They lost that one. They beat the Broncos in that weird field goal problem penalty situation. All that being said, they beat 5 bad teams. Four bad teams, maybe one moderately good team. It would surprise me if this holds up long term. I know people are trying to give them a lot of credit right now, which they deserve, considering you can't pick who you play. But I'll be interested to see how they do against the Chargers this week. It's going to be it'll be a good test for them to see where they really are in the AFC. Okay, so the NFC and what it's shaping up to be. We've got Tampa Bay at the 1 seed, 2 is Green Bay, 3 is San Francisco, 4 is the Eagles, 5 Seattle, 6 Detroit, 7's the Rams, 8's the Falcons, 9's Minnesota, 10 is Chicago. Couple thoughts. Tampa Bay. Wow. Ahead of pace in their last 6 games. Let's see if I remember correctly. Okay, so it's their last 6 games. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They finished the year Cardinals, Saints, Falcons, Panthers, Dolphins, Panthers. That's going to be quite the opportunity for them. I think season over win total was 10 or 11. I think that they could get to 12, 13, 14 games based on the rest of their schedule. They play the Lions, the Saints, the Patriots, Bills, and Rams before that last six games of the season. I think they could go 6-0 at the end if they get back healthy. Tampa Bay, it looks like the NFC is going to run through Tampa Bay this fall and in January. Be cool to see. Green Bay and San Francisco, I'm not sold on yet. They've lost to bad teams, and they've also haven't played well against great teams. They've been beat up. The defense is not as strong as it usually has been, at least in San Francisco and Green Bay. And Fred Warner's hurt in San Francisco. Seattle and Detroit, to me, seem much stronger, at least in the NFC. Interested to see the way it shakes out. Thank you guys for watching these videos. It means a lot to me. I appreciate it. Thank you for liking, comment, subscribe, do all those sorts of things. Make sure that shows up in the algorithm. I appreciate you all.